guys, welcome to our second video. I just want to start by addressing a few questions I've been getting by a few parents, and maybe someone else is confused too. If you ever see something that says continue learning or learning on our schedule, that is not an actual worksheet. That is just kind of giving you an overview of what that topic will be for that day. So for today, make sure both your con units are completed. For adding and subtracting, we're kind of wrapping that up. And I also put in here to do page 11, which is bar models. I did not realize that within the bar model, you'll actually need to know how to divide to do that. So for today, just as you're looking at your workbook pages, just try, as we do in class, to read it sentence by sentence and fill out your bar model. If you can't finish the math, that's totally fine because we haven't learned division yet. But just try to attempt to fill out your bar model. And I know that bar models can be hard for our students and parents that haven't been taught it yet. So I will definitely make a video coming back to these problems and completely filling them out and explaining bar models and why we or how we fill them out the way we do. So don't stress too much. I know parents and students get really stressed out about bar models, but I promise I'll make another video explaining that. But considering we haven't learned multiplication or division, I don't want to jump ahead and get some people confused. So we will come back to that. Just try to fill it out as much as you can, and then that way when we go over it, you can kind of have your own thoughts instead of me just giving you the answer. Also, so for today, we're going to go over adding and subtracting like our schedule says, and then I'm going to go ahead and start talking about multiplication, which is technically for tomorrow, but I wanted to make sure we're comparing the two so we don't get our two rules mixed up. Okay, so for today, here is our review. So we're still talking about adding and subtracting with decimals. Here's my first example. Well, first remember our rule is we have to line up our decimals with adding and subtracting. So first example, if this was what the book gave me of our problem, this is how I would set it up. Set it up this way. Again, I made sure my decimals were completely in line with each other, and then I filled out. So as you can see, 24 did not have zeros on the end, but I added that to keep myself kind of neat in each column the same. And then I just brought my number down, made sure the decimal was in line, and then I just added like normal and bring that decimal down in my answer. I'll pause right there if you want to work that out or see. Next, just example, I just want to do subtraction one, and with a whole number, same thing. So as I see this problem in my book, I rewrite it like this. Again, I completely lined up my decimals right there, and I actually could have added another 0 right here if I wanted to keep me in line. But so this one actually stayed exactly the same because it had 3 places already from the decimal. This one only had 1. So when I wrote 4.5, I made sure that decimal was lined up. And like I said, I add zeros to make sure I don't get mixed up. Because again, if we add zeros towards the end of numbers, it doesn't change the value. But not the same as this 0, because this 0 is not at the end, so it does hold a place value. We talked about that a lot in class, so hopefully that's just a review. And then I solved the problem. If you want to pause right here and make sure you understand how to line things up. Okay, now we're going to kind of switch gears and go ahead and move on to multiplication, and we're going to compare them. So for multiplication, I wrote a little bit of notes. So we have a new rule for multiplication. To line up or set up this problem, you do it completely like normal and then move the decimal at the end. So we don't have to line up our decimals in the beginning, and we're actually only going to be multiplying by a whole number. So if this was my problem, I already wrote notes, so I'm going to do it in real time so you guys can see. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it. times 6. And again, I don't have to line it up like I would if I were adding or subtracting, because if I did that, then my 6 would be way over here, right? Because it's a whole number. But we do it completely like normal. So 6 times 4 is 24. So I keep my 4 right here and put my 2 up here. And then I do 8 times 6, which is 48, plus that 2 up there is 50. Now, my answer is not 504. This is where our rule comes in. So we multiply just like we would if they were both whole numbers. And now we need to go back and see, okay, there's 2 decimal places in my answer. So there's also going to be 2 decimal places in my answer. So my answer is actually 5 4/100. And I wrote it right here too. But I wanted to work it out in real time. So you're going to pause that right here and make sure you understand the concept. So again, line it up like normal, put the whole number all the way to the side like we always do, get an answer, and then you can move according to what it was in the problem. Move your decimal over. Starting from the right to the left. And then we're going to do another example for like a 2-digit whole number with it. So let's say our book says we are going to multiply, maybe it's money. Maybe our problem says $1.25 times 15. So what we do is set it up like normal. We're going to act like they're whole numbers. I put my 1.25 on top times 15, again, all the way at the end. And I multiply like normal. I'm going to do that in real time here. So, again, we would do 5 times 5, which we know is 25. 5 times 2, which we know is 10, plus that 2 would be 12. And then 5 times 1 is 5, plus that 1 up there would be 6. And now we know our rule is to cross this out and start doing our 1, but add that 0. Don't forget that. I like to mark these out too as I'm starting over. So I did my first number, I did my 5 times every single thing. Now I'm going to go back and times by my 1 and make sure when we start again we add that 0, because remember, zeros do hold place value. So now we have 1 times 5, which is 5, 1 times 2, which is 2, 1 times 1, which is 1, and that actually goes to a new place value. Then again, just like normal, this should be a review. We are completely just going to add them. And now we see all of our numbers are multiplied. But again, because it has a decimal, the only thing that changes is we go back to our top and see it's 2 decimal places. So my answer will also be 2 decimal places, making the answer 18 and 75 cents if we're talking about money, or 75 hundredths. That should be your answer. So I'm going to let you pause right there if you need that. So again, this shouldn't be an extremely hard concept, hopefully. It should really just be a review of how to multiply and let you see my whole notes if you want to pause as I'm talking. But yeah, adding and subtracting, make sure you keep the rule to line up your decimals, and then move into multiplication. We switch our rule and we do it exactly like we always would, and then as we get our answer, go back and put our decimal where it needs to be, which comes from the problem. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, let me know if you guys need any help with anything specific. If you're having trouble with like a specific problem in your workbook, you can dojo me or email me, and I can either send you a video or send you like a picture of me working it out to try to help you. But again, we will go over the bar models. I know probably a lot of parents are wondering about that, but because we haven't technically gone over that, I'm just going to hold off. But I will make a video in detail about that, and hopefully that'll clear things up. of how bar models work. Yeah, I think that's all I have for today. I know a lot of you guys are working ahead, which is great, but for those of us that are taking it day by day, I don't want to get too ahead. But for today, make sure you have your con assignments finished. I'm going to be looking at that unless you talk to me about your internet. And then moving on to multiplication for tomorrow, and I already addressed that in this video. I think that should be it. As far as I can tell, unless you emailed me, most everyone can get into their Khan account, which is great. But again, Khan is a great resource. They kind of tell you the why behind things and have some great explaining videos, but you don't have to have those to get the concept. That's why I put all of the textbook pages in there, and I'm doing my own videos, because if for some reason people's accounts aren't working or don't have internet like on a computer, as far as I can tell, everyone can at least see my YouTube videos on their phone. So Khan is a great tool. I want everyone to be able to do it, but if you can't, you still should be able to get the topic from me and using the textbook. So hopefully that's a tool you can use. If not, I'm hoping that these videos and the textbook are enough to keep you in check and on the pages, the same page as everyone else. Yeah, and if you need anything else to do, if you don't have enough work, I'm sure you feel like you do. If you don't, you can always play Prodigy, Hood of Math, like we do in class. So yeah, I hope you guys are having fun quarantine time, staying caught up with your work, and also keeping yourself entertained. We'll also be sending out some workout videos from our PE teacher, which is awesome, so I hope you guys do that. And I miss you guys, and let me know if you have any specific questions. This is just an overview, but thank you, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye guys.